You think you know how the world works? You think that this material universe is all there is? But what if I told you the reality you know is one of many?
This doesn't make any sense.
Not everything has to, Doctor Strange. Through the mystic arts, we harness energy and shape reality.
The Avengers protect the world from physical dangers. We safeguard it against more mystical threats.
Come with me.
You'll die protecting this world, Mr. Doctor. Mr. Doctor. It's strange. Maybe. Who am I to judge?
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. New Doctor Strange footage and a whole bunch of people got to visit the set, so we learned a whole bunch about the movie and what's going on with this in the Marvel Universe, so this is going to be a breakdown. Really the big thing in this footage is the Mads Mikkelsen at the end, like that funny end tag, and him with the cloak of levitation, in a better look at their magical battles. So it's more of a martial arts magic movie, so I know that makes you think of Iron Fist, so this will have a lot of parody with what's going on in Iron Fist, even though that's much more practical martial arts. It just gets into the way magic is expressed physically in the Marvel Universe. Instead of being like Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars, just shooting bolts of lightning at Luke Skywalker. So Scott Derrickson, the director, said that was like a big thing for them visually when they were talking about how is this going to work, because magic is their primary source of power, so like how are they going to fight each other, what's it going to look like? So they all felt like there'd been too much reliance on shooting beams of light at each other. They even do it during the Avengers movies. So as a way to make this look way cooler and, it's not completely recycle everything that they've done before, they turned it into more of a martial arts movie. So that heavily influenced the way they weave magic, the way they manifest magical spells, the way they fight each other. And then you see the non-attack magic throughout the trailer as they open portals. They said there's about 4 big action set pieces. And one of the ones that critics got to see early was kind of from early on in Doctor Strange's training, where the Ancient One teleports him to Mount Everest, and as part of this lesson forces him to open his own portal to return before he dies from frostbite. Kevin Feige also talked a lot about the role of science because this is a magic movie, so the Marvel Universe thus far has been very technology-based. It's been dominated by Iron Man and his ethos of building cooler toys, building ways of harnessing energy. So the Doctor Strange movie deals with that in a really interesting way, but there were like big sequences early on that they cut out of the movie. Like there was a sequence that took place at the Super Collider at CERN, but that ended up getting cut out. But the way they deal with it in the Thor movies, in saying that, well, before people understood how all this worked, they thought it was magic. So this will be actual magic, but there will be a scientific element to it. Parallel dimensions, multiverse. Kevin Feige, one of the most exciting things, we've been talking about multiverse and Doctor Strange. Kevin Feige confirmed all that stuff. So you can see like Mads Mikkelsen's character has seen the truth. Like he has been exposed to something of awesome power and wants to make it a reality. So he's collapsing all the dimensions into our dimension, which would basically destroy everything. But that's one of the reasons why like his eyes look kind of crazy. Like they're called zealots. Like that's the name of their group in this other movie. They've been to the other place. Like obviously there are multiple other dimensions, but there are certain ones like the dark dimension, Dormammu's dimension, that are specific to the Doctor Strange universe. These people have seen that. They've been tainted by the truth, so to speak. If you guys have watched Full Metal Alchemist, like you see the truth and you're scarred by it. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from them. So let me know what you guys think about the idea of a martial arts magic movie. And even though we do know that Doctor Strange is going to be in Infinity War, the next big point of crossover seems like it's going to be the Thor movie. Although the director of that movie has been kind of funny when people ask him questions like, how come Thor is looking at Doctor Strange's street address on that little card there? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It could be nothing. Just kind of like winking, like, okay, there's something going on here, but obviously we can't reveal everything right now. But I just feel like there's so much big new stuff they're introducing in Doctor Strange that yeah, we'll see little tags for this in the other movies between now and Infinity War. Like, you won't go from Zero to Dormammu overnight, but it's going to be so crazy and it's going to be so awesome. I'm just so ready for the Marvel Universe to get really weird now. It's like you've seen enough of the regular Earth-based movies. We also learned who Rachel McAdams is playing. She's playing Christine Palmer, who is Night Nurse in the Doctor Strange comics. Now, I know there's a lot of confusion because Rosario Dawson's Claire Temple is kind of like the functional Night Nurse of the Marvel Universe, like the street-level person who treats vigilantes that can't go to the hospital for fear of being identified. So no version of Claire Temple in the comics has ever been called Night Nurse. There have been 3 different versions of the Night Nurse, the official Night Nurse character. Christine Palmer is the most recent one, and I think part of the reason Marvel has not used the name in the MCU yet is just to avoid creating more confusion. So she's not going to be called Night Nurse in the Doctor Strange movie, and Claire Temple is not going to be called Night Nurse in the Daredevil Netflix universe. They'll just be called their names, like she'll be called Claire, she'll be called Christine, and that'll be that. But I think we can consider Claire Temple the actual Night Nurse, even though technically Christine Palmer is the only comic book accurate version of Night Nurse, but she's a relatively small character in the Doctor Strange movie itself. A lot of people thought that she might have been playing Clea, who's kind of like this extra-dimensional love interest for Doctor Strange, who actually just appeared in the latest Doctor Strange comic book. If you've been reading Doctor Strange comics, they just had the annual Clea comes back, so you get an idea for who her character is if you've never read about her before. But as far as we know, Clea is not in the Doctor Strange movie. Rachel McAdams is playing Christine Palmer, aka one of the Night Nurses. So hopefully that clears that up just a little bit. But if you guys didn't know, they are airing 15 minutes of the movie, like a 15-minute preview, at special IMAX theaters around the country. So I don't know if they're doing this internationally, but it's an IMAX thing. IMAX is the one that's putting this on. It's on the 10th of October. So if you go to IMAX's website, you might be able to find tickets. I think it's sold out, and now, like, those are the kind of things that sell out right away because it's only on one day, and it's like one specific theater for each city. So it's kind of crazy, but don't worry. And just to tie this to Ghost Rider, I'm getting ready to make an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. video next. I'll make my Ghost Rider episode 2 video. But they did something during Agent Carter Season 2 with dark energy, like the dark dimension. So it seems like they're carrying that idea, like the MacGuffin of that, forward with Ghost Rider. People trying to manipulate energy, extra-dimensional energy, and it doing really crazy things to them. And then Doctor Strange is like the idealized version of that storyline. So it's all connected, at least on a story level. So that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider video we'll post in a little while. Be sure to subscribe to get it. There was a big reveal for the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, they finally revealed who the new director of S.H.I.E.L.D. is. It's a super deep cut from the Captain America comics. And then there's new Flash Season 3. There's a new, like, really big Arrow Season 5 trailer. So that might not post till Thursday. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. next. Then the DC stuff. So DC stuff might not post till Thursday just because there's so much stuff that just dropped this morning. While you guys wait for that to post, you can click here for the final big Luke Cage trailer, all dropping this Friday. And you can click here for my Thor Funny Moments Supercut. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.